folks. Welcome to Talk About Topeka for our very, very special coverage of New Year's Eve. Wasn't that supposed to make a noise or something?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Props.
Put that back. We do have plenty of props here. We have lots of excitement. We're going to review the year. This is Max Ellis, the guy who's behind the camera most of the time. Max, say hi.
Hello.
Hello. I like that. That was very nice.
Now I see.
We had a great year in 2013,
Oh, yes.
don't you think?
Yeah, we started back in March 2012, and then by the start of this year, we're really hitting a stride, going to more places, having more adventures.
Yeah, and it really was fun. I mean, the fact that our show aired on New Year's Eve, it's a fun time to look back and kind of think about, what did we do this year? And I think we have a lot of really cool things to be thinking about.
Definitely. And we've met so many interesting people, let's face it.
That's right. And, a show called Talk About Topeka, well, we couldn't talk about anything if we weren't talking with people. I mean, it'd just be talk amongst ourselves, and, well, no one really wants that.
I wouldn't mind. But,
well,
yeah,
we did have
no one
some
would
really
watch
cool
it.
people. They committed to our show. They came here, and they talked with us, and why they did, I don't know. But thank you for doing it to all of our guests. And we have a little bit of video here to show you all the really awesome people who took the time to talk with us on Talk About Topeka. Check it out.
The dogs need to get out of the building and come out and get some fresh air and just play. This is part of what was a little bit of a controversy, but we settled that with the neighborhood.
We first worked together on Golden Pond at Civic Theater.
The attendance for the Coyotes over the last couple of years has really declined, and we have taken an entirely different approach to that.
I had one young lady who stood in front of me, and she put on Scrubs for the first time, and she was crying, and I cannot believe I'm going to get through this without crying, because I do every time I talk about it. But she stood there, and she said, I finally am somebody.
I'll referee the District 5 candidates Terry Crowder and Michelle De La Isla, along with the mayoral candidates Larry Woolgast and Michael Ogle.
As your mayor, I want to build a city that continues moving forward.
I'll say it again, we're a long way from done.
It was the free state, but you had a lot of folks here that wanted it to be a slave state. You had Bleeding Kansas, and a lot of that legacy, just carries on.
We deserve equal rights.
So aside from really, really interesting people, Max, we got to do some really awesome things. We actually made a music video this year for one of our episodes for the Kansas Children's Discovery Center. Remember that one?
Very well.
Yeah, we were kind of a big deal for that thing,
We were big kids. I don't know about a big deal.
It was a lot of fun doing that. We've been waiting for MTV to give us a call, but we haven't heard. I wonder if they have a different number for us or something.
I don't know.
But, anyway, our music video for the Kansas Children's Discovery Center. Check it out. It goes a little something like this.
Problem is here, looks like somebody put some Legos up where your dipstick should have been.
Imagine what we could discover at play. Discover what we could imagine today. Come with me to where the rainbow ends. That's where a magical journey begins. Serious fun with hands-on learning. Come on, everyone.
I feel like I'm flying.
I'm the king of the world.
Whew, she's not lying. I think I lost my pancreas.
What I think is really cool about that place is, well, A, it seems fairly unique in the world, let alone Topeka. It stands a little bit above places like, Chuck E. Cheese or Discovery Zone. They're fun, but Education was never this fun when I was in school.
No, it really wasn't. This place really is completely magical, and to have it in Topeka, I think, is just excellent for the kids.
People coming in from all over the world to see this place.
Yeah, we do. And they've had, I don't know how many continents they've had people in on, but there have been continents represented here.
Probably not Antarctica.
Yeah, probably not.
Yet.
That's right, yet. But I'll tell you, one of the other things that we had a really great time with this year was the Railroad Festival. And
Definitely.
That's something that's been going on for many years. And it just keeps getting bigger and better every single year. It's, of course, over at the Great Overland Station.
I really enjoyed seeing you dive over things, like the same way you approach creative projects, just head first. Reckless, if you will.
Sometimes I need to check and make sure there's water in the pool before I dive. But, my neck's been healing nicely. So I have had quite a bit of experience this year with like inflatables and kids' toys. I'm just making sure, doing my part to test them out and make sure that they're safe.
Yes, and actually getting some exercise finally.
Well, finally. I don't know what you're talking about. I go to the gym all the time. But, we went to Going Bonkers. Going Bonkers was really a great place, not only because it was fun showing off a place where kids have so much fun, but it's a locally owned business, and we really do love locally owned businesses around here.
That's right.
And so let's show you my escapade here through all of the ins and outs and the ups and downs of Going Bonkers. Check it out. So like totally this equipment that they had here at Going Bonkers, I was really surprised because when I grew up, it was all like, ball pits and it was all kind of dirty and you never knew what. This is so clean.
Balls, fries.
Yeah, all mixed into a pit. And this was just really great. They've made some great innovations in toys for children.
Yeah, this does seem like the kind of place that you might build in your basement if you had like Michael Jackson money.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Max, where did you go? You've been replaced by a guy with a banjo. Well, this is our New Year's Eve special, folks, and we wanted to go above and beyond what we usually do here, so we brought a little entertainment. My very good friend, Mr. Judd Henry Mason, is here with us, and this guy can make any instrument just talk. It really is amazing. Judd, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year, everybody.
That's right. Happy New Year. It's a big celebration here. You've been doing music for a long time. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved.
Yes, well, I was raised in a musical family, basically. My pops got me started and been doing a lot of rock and roll and heavy metal over the years, that's for sure. And most recently, got bit by the bluegrass bug. And heck, I like anything with fast guitars,
That's right. Well, we've been working together on the Bluegrass and Apple Jam and Bluegrass and Mistletoe shows that the Break Room's done. Just completely sold out.
That has been a lot of fun. Singing with all those awesome voices, awesome talent. Terry Walton, Jared Cottle, Rick Bixler, and Cece. Oh, man, it's just been an adventure, and can't tell you how cool it's been,
It's amazing, people like Karen Hastings bringing people like Judd and Terry and Rick and Jared and Cece all together and breaking something really amazing.
Yes. Wow, yeah, Karen really brought it together, and it's just been magic.
It really has.
Awesome.
It really has. Well, I want you to entertain our guests, if you would. With
Sure.
something that you wrote, and you actually wrote this for Bluegrass and Mistletoe.
Yep.
Now let's do it.
Well, this here's a song I wrote for the show, as he said. It's kind of about how good it is to see all those folks you ain't seen for a year. And I know when I was living out in California there, whenever I would fly home, sure good to see all those friends and family again. You know who y'all are. Bluegrass and mistletoe, fires burning in the stove, mama's cooking pumpkin bread, smelling's going to my head. Bluegrass and mistletoe, people shopping high and low, people shopping running round, I just want to settle down. Happy times, food and wine, all my friends are home, in my happy home. sleigh. Santa's coming on the sled. Bluegrass and mistletoe, playing on my old banjo. We ain't got no Christmas tree, but we still got you and me. Happy times, food and wine. All my friends are home in my happy home. Bluegrass and mistletoe. Bluegrass and mistletoe. Bluegrass and mistletoe. Bluegrass and mistletoe.
Wow. Wow, that's Judd Henry Mason right here, folks.
Love that stuff.
Writes the stuff himself. You're a writer, musician.
Yep.
How does this inspiration come to you?
Oh, you know, it just comes from folks like you and Karen Hastings and all these people. You know, get a lot of inspiration from the people around me. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. Just started playing this thing a couple of years ago and love that old banjo.
Absolutely amazing. Some wonderful talent. Judd Henry Mason, thank you so much for coming. I want to give a plug here for your CD.
Yep.
You can pick this up at the break room. We've got these for sale for $8. So you can come down and pick one of these. Support Judd here.
Yep, on iTunes too.
Really, on iTunes as well. And you know, he's got some really great stuff. You wrote a lot of the stuff on here, right?
Yep, I wrote most of the material. There's a Hank Williams song on there and a Waylon Jennings song.
Well, you can't go wrong with Hank Jennings. Or Hank Williams and Waylon Jennings.
Yep.
Well, you push them together, and here's
Yep.
you get Judd Mason.
That's
so, folks, Judd Mason, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
You bet. Oh, there we go, man. And Happy New Year to you, and
Happy New Year!
So welcome back to talk about Topeka's 2013 year in review. One of the most exciting things I think we've done is, you know, we do the whole show from a blimp, but we got to ride in someone else's aircraft for once.
Not just an aircraft, like a historic Douglas DC-3.
Yes, a warbird.
It was awesome. It had guns and everything, folks. I was on Cloud 9, or, well, which cloud
I
was
lost
that?
count, actually.
It was really, really an awesome experience. And what I think is really cool about this is that it was kind of the intro to a brand new event in Topeka, which was the Warbirds and Legends Air Show.
Yeah, it was a sneak peek because they ended up bringing in classic old planes that were actually saw service in World War II and beyond.
Yeah, and we got to do a little bit of coverage of that. And I was lucky enough to be able to actually be there to help feed some of the pilots and the actual legends, the people who came and brought those planes. And I got to meet a lot of those people. And I'll tell you, Topeka, we are very, very lucky to be able to have this as an event that we want to make happen every single year. So put it on your calendar for next year, the Warbirds and Legends event.
Yeah, you were there all 3 days. I was only able to make it out for a little bit because this happened at the same time as the guard drill weekend. So a lot of people who make a career out of aviation were not able to attend.
People like you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of a bummer, but they were really awesome. They let you out, and you came by, and that time that we were there to get our footage, it was raining.
The only time, but there were still like thousands of people pouring in all day. It was very impressive.
It was great, and I really loved how they let the vets go and fly on any of those planes for free. People actually had the opportunity to fly on those planes.
Yeah, it was the least they could do.
It really was. It really was, and I thought it was just a spectacular, fun event for Topeka. And even if you want to fly and you're not a vet, you can totally buy your way onto one of these planes and feel like what it felt like to be on those warbirds.
Mm-hmm. So say what you will about reality stars. At the end of the day, they're still real people, and a lot of them came to Topeka to race.
I got to meet them. It was really cool. We have people from Big Brother, Amazing Race. All these guys came to Topeka for the DART, which is a fundraiser, the Downtown Adventure Race Topeka for Let's Help. A great cause. We had some great celebrities there. Folks just had a great time. There were participants who found out that they had the celebrities in town, and they even participated all the way from St. Louis. They brought a team, which I thought was pretty cool. So teams from all over the place came, and this is another yearly event that's grown so much.
Definitely. Sixth year?
I think so. It's around there.
And even the people who live here and participate still found new things in Topeka that they had never known about before. That little museum in the Ramada, I had no idea.
Yeah, the Holly Museum of History. Yeah, very, very cool stuff.
I'd like to welcome you to the Holly Museum of Military History. And if you look up here, Mr. Holly started out as a radio announcer, and we have 6 rooms, and this is a collection that Mr. Holly created over 40 years of his life. Everything around is a story to tell you of one kind or another, and Mr. Holly was a stickler for detail. Everything is correct. Everything is right. We're open 7 days a week from 10 o'clock in the morning till 8 in the evening, and we hope that you come and visit us. And we have 6 rooms of aircraft, and we go from the Wright brothers clear through space.
So another really awesome interview that we did was with Barney Hubert, who is a superintendent of KNI, the Kansas Neurological Institute, and that was kind of really a life-changing experience, I think. I don't think people have the opportunity. I guess they do have the opportunity. They can always go out there, but how many people actually do and see? Well, you have an opportunity at the Hidden Treasures Mall to go out and experience some of what we felt at KNI. And it really made me, when I left there that night, I really felt inspired in a way I've never really felt inspired before. And I had this way of, well, something we wanted to do. So we went back and we talked to the guy, Rex, that we met in the balloon shop.
Store.
And this was really, for me, I felt like a giant kid in a candy store being able to do this. And Rex was such a cool guy. And folks, you need to get down there and check him out.
And everyone knows that one of Topeka's legacies was the Menninger Clinic. But this place seems to me just as unique and valuable. You know, if it were to close, the residents could still get help, but it's very specialized and to fit their needs and to give back to the community.
There we go.
Hear it? Tapping on it. There we go. What do you think?
Well, I think what it's about is, you know, people could survive without it, but the quality of life that they get there is something that, you know, if you're pro living in this world happily, this really does bring some happiness to those guys. And I really, KNI, what a story. So we saw a lot of really cool things that have happened in Topeka. And there's a lot of really cool things that are on the horizon in Topeka.
Yes.
And we were following them this whole way through this process. One of them, the Downtown Project. We talked a lot about that from its start. Some people agreed, some people didn't. We just wanted to have a conversation about it. That was what was really important for us. And what was really amazing is that you had folks talking about wanting infrastructure done. You had folks talking about, you know, amenities that they didn't necessarily want their tax dollars paying for amenities. We understand that. But what was cool is that we have a public-private partnership that worked its way through here, and that all of the infrastructure, those old water lines and all that stuff, that's going to be taken care of. They're going to redo all of that.
You mean the ones from the 1800s? What was wrong with that?
It was like 1892, there was a story that we had a broken water line. We just didn't want to see them redo the streets again after they did that.
Yeah, do the top, take it up, do the bottom,
put it back. Luckily, they're not going to do that. They're going to do it all in one fell swoop. But the really amazing news of this year was that the private sector contributed over $2 million to enhancements to the public area here. And I think that by the time this is all done, 2014 is going to see the beginning of construction with that project. But by the time this is all done and we sit back and look at this and our downtown is something really special, I really hope we can all sit back together and just say, wow, we did it. We did something as a community together, and we can all be happy for it.
So we've got a lot to look forward to, on our show at least. We're going to be going out to a lot more places. We're getting a bigger effects budget. I mean, a blimp maintenance budget. I'm getting extra camera help, and we may have even new places that don't exist yet to visit due to the airport.
Yeah, I'm saying another thing that we're all going to be very proud to be able to say that we as a community now have, that we built through 2013. We will see the benefits of having air travel in Topeka, which if you don't know how big this really is, this is huge.
Like
it's absolutely huge.
A million people, right? Going
Yeah,
to Kansas
there
City.
was a lot. I mean, we did an interview with Eric Johnson, who's the president of the Metropolitan Topeka Airport Authority, and he took us on a tour of Topeka Regional Airport out there. And let's just say that it's New Year's Eve now. The 7th of this month, you can get on a plane in Topeka. You don't have to drive to Kansas City. You don't have to pay for tolls. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to pay for parking. $5 parking for as long as you're there, and you're parking right outside of the terminal. So the costs balance this out. They even have a cost calculator that you can do on the website for the Topeka Regional Airport.
Well, for me, my time is worth more. So being able to save that much just by going there is huge.
Of course, the time, but I mean, we're going to have complete access to another major metropolitan area. And not to mention the fact that that's a great hub and the times are all made perfectly, so you won't have giant layovers. Your time factor in a layover situation is not going to be all that crazy with Topeka Regional. And folks, that's pretty darn big, right?
And it's one of those things that attracts new businesses to the area. Like, they'll look at the downtown, they'll look at accessibility.
Well, you know, we've been very accessible to the Kansas City market because we're a drive away. Now we're going to be accessible directly with the Chicago market. And so that really does tie us in and put us in a very strong position. So good job, Topeka.
Our pizzas are going to be so deep now, just from that cross-cultural.
We're going to trade Kansas City steaks and deep dish pizzas. I think we're ready. So 2013 was a really great year overall. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
I think so. And I know from our perspective and my perspective, I've got to work with such wonderful people like you heard Judd earlier.
Oh, the guests.
Right. And of course, Max Ellis, you know. So with talent like that in Topeka, one of the things we have made a commitment to for our resolution for 2014 is to include some more of that entertainment here for our show.
There's so much live stuff going on. Like every first Friday, there's like 100 live music and stage performers. TCT.
All over the place, and we want to talk about it a little bit. So you're going to see a little bit more of that coming up this year, and it's all in our quest to make sure our show stays interesting and keeps the viewers watching. So we really want to thank all of you folks for viewing us, and all of our viewers for sticking with us for the last couple of years. We promise that 2014 is going to be even bigger, better, and stronger than anything we've done in the past, and we're going to do it, right, man?
Right.
Fist bump. There we go. Oh, I didn't do the thing with the fingers thing.
In 2014, we'll get that down.
I'll give you this and a finger point and a wink. Folks, please keep talking about Topeka, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That's right. I love that that's animated, dude. I just noticed that.
Just now?
Yeah, I've been looking the other way.
Oh.